Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and welcome to a very special episode of Sherm in the Booth. My name is Sherm. You guys are some true Chicagoans for coming out in January. It's snowing outside, it's freezing, and you're at the fucking club at 1 a.m.
Boys with the bass, yeah, boys, bass.
Who am I talking to right now? You're famous.
Free food, free drinks, music, girls. Let's go.
Do you like it? Cool. If you don't, goodbye.
I'm missing the most important part.
Boys with the bass, yeah.
We should throw like a crazy bar mitzvah party.
This is crazy. Send me stems. I finished it.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Just wait, you know it kicks in like 3 to 5 seconds afterward.
Yo, what is good, everyone, and welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm, and ladies and gentlemen, do we have a good one for you today? Sherm in the Booth 245 features Chicago house music legend Terry Hunter, a 3-time Grammy-nominated DJ, producer, and label owner who needs no introduction. Many of you know how passionate I am about the history of Chicago house music, and to have a one-on-one conversation with this icon just a few blocks away from the warehouse is truly surreal for me. Terry and I got connected through Chicago Music Nexus, where he sat on a panel that I moderated called Adapt or Die, Cultivating Resilience. His attitude on the past, present, and future of the music industry is refreshing, authentic, and genuine. We share a lot of the same beliefs and perspectives, which is why the energy was incredible from start to finish during this interview. You know what? I've already talked too much, but as you can tell, I'm just really excited for everyone to check this out. So let's get into it right now so you can hear his story for yourselves. This is episode 245 with Terry Hunter. As sort of like the comfort level that I have.
Yeah.
It's just so good to be here with you, man.
No, man.
Honestly, and I appreciate you so much. And
Nah, man, it goes both ways. I mean, I don't get to do this a lot with like-minded people or people that really don't know you. And, you know, in this game,
Yeah.
it happens. You don't
I know.
know 99.9% of the people. But when you get that 1%,
yeah.
it makes it that much,
Well, there's a lot of us that live in that 1%. And
Yep.
it feels like it's a small number, but what you really realize is that there's actually a really, really special community
It is.
of that 1%.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy to me, like in our world, dance music is everything,
Yes, it is.
right? But to the actual world, it's very, very small. It's such a small piece of what the world is made up of.
Yes, it is. But you know what's funny? I think you're right, but it is. We got this saying with my team. It's like everywhere but nowhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
like
so
that, yeah.
It's everywhere, but it's in the sense of it's not anywhere with the common folks, but they don't realize it's all around them.
Right.
From the sound, from
Right.
the music, from the vibes. So it's everywhere but nowhere in a sense. So
That's true. That's true. And I think you said on Olivia's podcast, actually, and I totally agree with this. People don't really know how much they're actually surrounded by dance music,
Yes.
especially pop music.
Yes.
I mean,
Absolutely.
the crossover. I mean, look at you, right? Like
Yes.
what you've been a part of, the rooms you've been in, right?
Yes.
You just started off as a Chicago house DJ, man,
Yeah,
who
that's
asked
it.
for a mixer from his fucking grandpa, right?
That's it. And fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And worked one summer job that lasted 2 weeks at the Taste of Chicago. And ain't
That was your
looked
first
back
and only job?
Bro, only job I ever had. It was. I think I might have said it on a few podcasts.
Yeah.
But it was a place. And I'm telling my age, but it used to be a restaurant on 22nd and Cermak, like Cermak in Michigan, called Catfish Digby's. It was a seafood restaurant, and I'll never forget it. And they had a booth at the Taste of Chicago,
At
bro.
Catfish Digby's. Let's
At
go.
Catfish Digby's. Look it up.
Let's go.
And I went there, and the taste was like, what is the taste? A week, right?
Yeah.
A week or two.
Was it in Grant Park still?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
And man, listen, they had me frying French fries and fish
Catfish.
and catfish, and bro, and that grease hit my hand. I was like,
Nah, I'm good.
I'm out. I'm done. I took that check and brought some records and didn't look back.
100%.
Yeah, man,
That's unbelievable. Wow,
Yeah.
you've like really fully sent it since you actually took it seriously, right?
Oh no, yeah. It was it. Like for me, it was just crazy. I didn't see anything else at that point, especially when I was DJing in high school, and it was so popular then. But I always knew, I was like, I don't want to be just a local dude. I don't want to be just a local.
You always had that
cactus.
mindset.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it because I saw some of my heroes and what they were doing, and then some of the people that was local. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but I just wanted bigger for myself.
For sure.
As a teenager, you know what I mean? I didn't resonate, which was cool. Chicago was how I got started, but I'm like, I'm gonna use this and make this so strong as much as I can without knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
In Chicago, where they're gonna ask for me all over the world. And then it's like, yo, what do I have to do to be all over the world? And it was like, well, you need to learn how to make records. So guess what? I'm gonna make some records.
What like was in you though? Like, is it in your blood? Like, or is it your influences, your family, the city? Like, what made you actually lock into that mindset so early? Because it takes a long people to actually think like that.
No, man, dude, that's a great question. I think it's a combination of everything, man. And I say it all the time, and I'm never gonna stop saying it until I breathe in. And I love him to death, man. My cousin.
Yeah.
The
guy you were just on the phone with?
Yeah. No, not him. No, but my cousin's name is I was named after him. So
okay.
Yeah. So he was how I got introduced to the music.
Okay, got it.
And with that, my family is a big entertaining family.
Mm-hmm.
So any excuse for us to have a gathering, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, birthdays, we was doing it. And, obviously, like most families probably, music was the backdrop. You know what I mean? And so it was something about it that I fell in love with the art of DJing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was something about finding a record. Because to me, when I play, it was funny. A friend of mine's great female DJ Alicia, shout out to her. She said to me this weekend, she was like, it's funny when I look at you play. She said, I see you producing in your head when you're DJing. Like you're in a whole another zone. And obviously I don't see or feel that, but I know when I'm playing a record, I'm already 4 or 5 records ahead of what I might be playing. So it's a thought process. Yeah. Because of the vibe that I'm getting. So it's important that you get that feedback from the crowd. And so it's with me, I'm remixing, I'm producing in my head as I go. And it's just something that stuck with me, you know what I mean, from early on. Like I would hear older records, bro, and I'd be like, I wouldn't have did that. I would have did this. Yeah. So I would take that and do my own version of it.
That's how it started for me too. I see these other DJs and I'm like, I like what they're doing, but I think I can do it better.
Yeah. Absolutely, bro.
Right?
And that's the vibe for me. So it's just, I don't know what it is to this day. Yeah. I still love it. Like that's
amazing.
It's like, let's do it. And especially when you get those gigs. And I tell everybody all the time, like Michael Jordan hit 60 every game. You have some off nights. But it's still, and meaning not saying I didn't play my best, but every gig is not gonna be this amazing, whoa. Yeah. It's gonna be some just okay gigs, but still with the okay gigs. It's something that I'm taking from that.
Are you still learning? Are you still loving? Are you still living in the moment?
Absolutely. Once you stop learning, it's over.
That's so true.
It's over for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's dope, man. I just love the art form of DJing from, everything from like Chicago. It's a funny thing is Chicago's known for, especially with house music, like we like to blend records, like our mixing in and out of records.
It's another song.
It is. And if you do it, I tell people all the time, just because 2 records are the same tempo, that don't necessarily mean that those records go together. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's, for me, that third ear of mine kicks in with a lot of DJs that will turn me off. Yeah. And I see them change the mood immediately from one record to the next. That's not it.
No, it's the
same tempo. Yep. Does not mean they go together. And so the real DJs understand, and the ones that do that, that's why they who they are.
Oh, agreed. And that's one thing that I've tried to learn as a DJ. My story as a Chicago DJ was I came here from Indiana, right, where there's absolutely no scene.
Yes.
And I just love dance music. I love DJing. I said, I'm gonna see what this city's got, right? Didn't realize how competitive it was, of course.
Ooh,
I was basically told to get the fuck in the back of the line. Who are you? And I was like, I'm a nice guy. I'm trying to.
Right.
So I had to cut my teeth in the open format world, right?
Absolutely.
Where I really learned my version of crate digging and music research.
Yes.
And learned to DJ, learned to read crowds. And now I'm still that DJ, technically, but with my own music and my own style and my own sound.
Yes.
And I've learned so much from, the modern day open format DJ, but also people like you. One thing I wanted to ask you about, Terry, and it's something that I think about all the time. It's like the tangible aspect of like procuring music, right? So you've told a lot of stories about how you used to travel around with your records, right? You would go to the record store, you would listen to records all the way through. Then that's where that third ear is, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You buy that record, you save that record, you DJ that record, and you have that record in your collection. It's not always going to be in the same spot in your set.
Absolutely. Like for me, it's that right there. Even to this day, like for me, when I used to listen to records, we used to call it needle dropping, right?
Yeah.
And I would take it, and if that record, wherever I dropped the needle, if I wasn't turned on from that record in the first 30 seconds, it's out of here.
Okay, I like that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll find records, and I think from back in the day, I've picked that up just from being in the culture of Chicago, where we were known for doing edits of records and extending breaks. So sometimes you might miss those breaks, and it'll be this one piece, 4-bar loop, 2-bar loop, and it's like, ooh. And so I said, let me stop being so quick with it and listen to these records.
Same here, my own way too. I was like impatient for some reason because I think that's how people that's how I think they are.
Oh, yeah.
What people really want is what they don't know what they want. And that's our job. It's our job to give the people what they didn't know they wanted. And in turn is when we put ourselves in a situation to truly be vulnerable and artistic in the DJing realm of skill.
Absolutely.
And that's what I love most about DJing is taking those chances.
It is. And it takes, the funny thing about today is that in today's world, everybody wants the hands in the air, drum roll, breakdown, easy records to play. Play me something that I don't know. Don't play something that you feel like the crowd is going to go crazy on. I get it, because sometimes we in these big rooms and clubs or festivals. And you got to play to the people, but at the same time, I believe that they want to hear and learn something from you that they don't. This summer was amazing when I opened up and I did the Festival for John Summit.
Oh, that was amazing.
The amount of kids was like...
You crushed it too.
Yo, where have you been? We don't know you. You know what I'm saying? And that's about bridging the gap. And I think that was a perfect situation and scenario of two giants from Chicago coming together and introducing one another. You know what I mean? And
absolutely. Well, that's what I feel like. That's what the dance music community, but it's specifically Chicago, is all about. We could go on and on about what House Calls has done, bringing a global sound to Chicago, but always still paying homage to the sounds here, right, and where they do it. And I think that's why, I don't know if this has happened to you, right? We both have an idea that we want to be bigger than the city of Chicago, but I never want to leave it behind by any mark, right? Like, this city means so much to me. And people always say, I'm going to New York, I'm going to LA, I'm going to London, I'm going to Amsterdam. I'm like, don't you know how good we have it here?
Listen, that's one of the reasons why I never left.
Yes.
I had an opportunity to move to London.
Did you?
I had an opportunity to move to Amsterdam. I had an opportunity to move to New York.
Damn.
And as of recent, I'm like, maybe I should go to LA. And it's kept me right here. And right now, the city has paid me back so much in the last few years that I'm like, this is home. Even though I love those places.
Of course.
But it's home. Like, I got off the plane, it was funny. Came back from LA and I landed this morning.
Oh, God.
And I was like, Chicago, y'all testing me right now.
It's cold as fuck here, people, just in case you didn't know.
It was -7. We're not even finna talk about what the wind chill felt like.
No, we don't look at feels like.
Video, it was fucking steam coming out my mouth, my nose, my ears. Anywhere that there was air, it was just, I was like, yo, come on, man. I love it here. It was crazy. I'm like, you can't get used to that.
No.
But you still love it.
Yeah, I agree.
Still love it.
It makes you appreciate every other part.
Absolutely.
Of what the city has, because it's not like we stop existing here.
No.
It's like, you know, I got friends in Atlanta and Texas, and when there's bad weather there's snow, shit shuts down. When there's rain,
yes,
you literally can't stop us. In fact, we maybe go harder in Q1, like Q1 it's colder, because we're like, nah, man, like that doesn't matter to us. Nothing phases us.
Chicago, man, it's the city. It's the city of winters.
It's the city of winters. Wait. That reminds me of your song.
What's that?
That Drama song.
Big up to Drama.
Yo.
Big up to Drama.
I shit you not. That song is in my head randomly.
Listen.
Because it's so cold and it's like.
Big shout to, like, listen, that record, big shout to
City
my partner
of
too,
Winter.
man.
It's like, I'm like, yeah, that song is really fucking good, Terry.
No, listen, that's their record. All
you did the Southside remix, right?
Yeah, me and DJ Immaculate. Big shout
Yours
to
is,
my partner.
I listen to your remix. It's just perfect. It's so
man.
perfect.
Like when I met Niall and Via through Immaculate, and he's was engineering a lot of their stuff, and then obviously as a mutual respect, we know who we are, and we created this amazing relationship. And so when he came out with the record, he was like, man, I want to see what you and Immaculate to do with this record together.
Oh shit.
And we did it, man. And it's listen, that's a record to where it's like I put on. It reminds me of the 90s, like in hip hop in New York, where everything was about New York. Everybody saying New York. They put their cities in their record. Like when I step up in the club, it's sometimes that's my first record. I'm like, bitches, you finna know where I'm from.
I like
that's
that.
My first record. Let's get this out the way so y'all know where I'm from. And then boom. So that's what that record is, man. It's definitely
so good.
It's the soundtrack right now for what I do and when I play.
Where are they from?
Chicago.
They're from Chicago?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Drama is from here.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they're from. That's why they made that record.
Oh my God,
Bigging up the city.
They're amazing.
Amazing to see what the stuff that they're doing and representing dance music.
Yeah, they're going like this.
No, listen, like we did an event for them last year at Salt Shed. Mm-hmm. Completely sold out.
Nuts.
Like
that's a sick venue
to see
too.
their show and to see all of those people that came there for them. Mm-hmm. Man, big up to Drama. Like
that's like modern house to me a little bit. Like it's still so soulful.
Yes.
But like it sounds and feels and looks so real.
Absolutely. And
she's an amazing singer.
Yeah, Via's crazy, right?
Jesus.
She got that tone. There's something.
Yeah,
about
that
her.
Gorgon City song that they fucking did.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Man, I feel like I'm at church, and I'm a Jew.
I love it.
I would change religions if she was the fucking priest, man.
I would change religions. I love it, man. Oh, yeah,
so
they dope,
good, man.
Bro. That is it.
I love that, though. I love that. And, just... That's the thing too. Whenever you find out somebody's from Chicago, you're like, I think I could have guessed that actually.
No, for sure. Yeah, they born and raised here, and that's what this city does.
Yeah.
And one thing about Chicago that I love, it has that opposite, just like any other town. Mm-hmm. You got the haters, but we need them. We need them.
We love the haters.
To be like, oh, you this is a hating ass city.
Yeah.
And I thank y'all so much because you haters have made me so much better.
I know. I love haters.
You know what I mean? Like,
haters come when you're doing it right.
Hey, listen, they be on Facebook. I call them. They hide behind the keyboards. They're keyboard gangsters. They're Facebook gangsters. They're Instagram gangsters.
Yeah, it's so hard.
It. You don't just see them in the streets. You don't see them. They just say and comment whatever they want, and I love it.
And guess what? They're still showing up to your show.
Well, listen, but that's the thing. But you know what it is?
Yeah.
Is that they really love you.
Yeah.
Or they really hate it. It's not them.
It's like that schoolyard shit. It's like you make fun of the girl that you got a crush on.
You know how we used back in the day when you used to like somebody, and you wanted to fight them, but didn't want to tell them that I really like you. I'm gonna punch this.
I think it's just people that need to go to therapy. Oh yeah, and they need to.
And they wasn't hugged enough when they was a kid.
No, definitely not that.
You know what I mean? That's some funny shit though.
Yeah, for sure. So how much time do you still spend with your family? I know obviously you're from Southside Chicago.
Yes, sir.
What's your personal life like, Terry? Because it's really hard to balance everything that you do, and I feel like having a personal life is maybe more important to the success in music.
Yes.
I mean, would you agree? How do you feel about that?
No, listen, I it's so crazy. Family is everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have two boys. My first son is named after me. My My other son Ty he's a senior in high school right
Okay. All right.
now. Married. And I got 2 Frenchies that I love to death. So
Yes.
you know, that's my thing. And so for me, it's cool because I can get away even when I'm at home. You know, the first thing I look forward to when I come home, like yesterday, is my dogs is finna just give me love like this.
Yes.
Unforeseen kind of love that only dogs can give you.
Yeah.
You know, and I used to tell all the time, like, look, when I come home, if you ain't jumping up and down and wagging your tail like these dogs, go your ass over here, man. But his family is important. That's my drive, bro. That's why I do what I do.
Yep.
And why I go so hard. And for whatever reason, at this point in my career, man, I never, bro, like I could be honest, in a million years would not think that I would be in the rooms that I'm in now. You know, I knew I would be good. I had the confidence to know I could just play this out to whenever I want to stop. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To get these artists that are reaching out now, you know, I'm doing a record right now. I don't know if I can say it, but I'm going to say it.
All right.
Anyway, excuse me, her name is Rochelle Jordan. She did a single with, Kate Renata, so it looks like I might have to sing off her album. And just for her team reached out to me for the excitement of them wanting to work. And I produced a song on her album, and for us to get it on the first go.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That doesn't happen every time.
Like, it's just, she was through the roof, and we're kind of at the end of that process now. But just, in the last few years, like Beyonce, Mariah, Shaka Khan.
It's unbelievable.
I just did something with Yolanda Adams, the Queen of God. It's just amazing. And so my thing for me is, I'm like, man, this is house music. I'm not changing what I do. This is what we're doing.
Roads are intersecting.
You know what I mean? They're just straight up. I love that. That's truly what's happening.
Yep.
Is that those roads are intersecting. And that's the only way for it to grow.
Yeah.
And for it to keep going. And of course, that's why I love the younger generation so much. You know what I mean? Is that we keep learning from each other. So I think in this period of time, in this space with all of this crazy shit that's going on in the world, house music is one of those things where you really can curl up with and be in your own world.
You could.
And not worry about nothing else and mess with who you messing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So I love it, man. So that's just really it. That's family, bro. I come home, it's my dogs, it's my family, is chilling out. Like I was telling a friend, I have been probably, there's a couple of places I want to go that I haven't been, but I have been all over the world a million times.
Sick.
I don't know how to vacation.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I need to take a fucking vacation. I don't know what to do on a vacation.
You're like, I'm not going on a plane if I don't have to.
Hey, what time of sound check? Hey, what time we going to dinner? It's like, what do you do? So I got to figure out at this point in my life, like, to go somewhere and enjoy where you're at.
I love
and not worrying about
you brought it back around.
Yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my plan for 2025, to figure out how to vacation. So I'll be calling you if you got any tips for me with that.
I see. That's the thing that my wife really does for me. So I met my wife in high school, actually.
Wow.
She's my first girlfriend.
Wow.
Yeah. We broke up for a little bit of time in college, but have been back together. Been married for 2 years.
Wow.
And it'll be 3 years in, God damn, I can't believe that. 3 years in July. I sound like you already, don't I?
No, bro. No, you know what you just made me do? I think that's beautiful. Like,
thank you.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And my wife, I had a crush on in high school.
Did you?
But we didn't get together till a few years after. And
it all worked out.
It worked out. But you say you guys been together for 3 years?
We've been married for 3, but we've been together. I mean, we've been in love for 13.
For 13?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
30 years for me this year.
Woo! Let's go.
So, yeah.
Well, I look up to you, man.
Absolutely. That's why I was like, God.
It's kind of rare sometimes in music, too. I was talking about this recently with somebody, but like, whenever I meet someone in the music industry or develop a friendship and they're married, I my wife as well, we gravitate towards these people because we're like, are you normal too? Like, you go home, you got dogs, you got kids, like, you cook dinner? Like... all this shit, right?
You gotta have that connection.
Yeah, you
Listen,
do.
You can't always hang out with the homies that's single. Like, there's nothing wrong
Well,
with
because
it.
sometimes
But
all they do is talk about music, and you're like, yo, there's a lot more to life than like DJing and music.
Yes.
And actually, more of life happens
Or they'll get your
outside of
ass
that.
in trouble.
Yeah. Exactly. Trust me, limit yourselves. Temptations are endless.
Listen, man. So that I found out I found out that, the hard way is like, oh, I keep getting in trouble for hanging around this guy and I ain't doing nothing. And, it was early on, but you got to hang with like-minded people and couples.
Yes, you do. Couples, yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Terry, I want to ask you something about originality in terms of making music. So, I told you, I started as a DJ because I loved going to these events. I loved partying. I fell in love with club music, club culture, festivals, all that stuff. So when I started making music, I was making that sort of music, right? And now I'm a traditional tech house producer, which is great.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of tech house and house producers right now, right? And everyone has the ability now to make very high quality tech house, but it feels unoriginal.
Yes.
And when I felt like I was being original over the past couple of years, now I feel like I'm doing the same thing, and it's feeling really hard to actually do that.
Yeah.
So what I've done is taken a step back in order to try and take 10 steps forward. So that means I'm working with producers who are maybe more in the pop world and who are songwriters.
Yes.
And I worked with one of my friends named Isaac. He's an amazing songwriter, producer, DJ as well. And we made a song in like 3 hours, and it was just like what you were talking about.
Wow.
It happened like that, right?
Yep.
We sent it off to a singer. She re-sung it.
Yep.
We wrote the lyrics, and I'm like, this is it.
That's it.
Why have I been
it.
rushing it?
Yeah,
Do
man.
you ever feel like that? Like you're just we're in this culture where it's like I got to pump shit out, but you can't be inspired on the spot.
No, listen, I've went through all of those phases, man. I went through a real bad block, like a writer's block between like September and like December, to where I couldn't come up with shit.
Yeah.
Like I would go to the computer, I would listen to older records, try to find a sample,
Yeah.
build off of that. I would start with some drums. I would listen to other music and would not find anything that would just inspire me to make it, and I would just walk away from the computer.
Yeah.
And it's very frustrating as a creative to know you have something in you, but you can't express it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Can't
trying to
get it
say.
out. And then you just like, fuck. And I've had it before because I've had those blocks.
Yeah.
And so what I do is I tend to really start DJing like crazy.
Okay.
So it makes me go in and just start playing records, and because I'm a DJ first.
Right. Same.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so when that block, that disconnection happens, I just fall right back into a line with just pushing myself. Play a record that you haven't played in 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
Or play something that you've never played before.
Yeah.
And ultimately, DJing gets me back on track, and then boom, I'm out of it.
I've literally never thought to do that.
Yeah,
That's
man.
such a good idea.
Yeah, man. It helps me. It's all the time. And sometimes it's so bad where I know what to do, but you try to force it.
Yeah.
So it goes back to your point, is that you really can't force it, man. You only shorten your fan base and yourself. You're not going to be happy with the end results. I've made 1 million records to where they did okay.
Right.
I'm happy with the result of it.
Yeah.
Because guess what?
Yep.
Those records can still come to surface years later. And that has happened. You
For
know
sure.
what I mean?
And it's
So-
okay to still make club music and, and real music.
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to tap in is what I've been thinking about, because last year was the busiest year of my life. I fucking did a tour, Nexus,
Yes.
conferences, podcasting, all these things, right? And I'm like, I'm doing them all, but to the outside world, it's like, wow, Sherm is putting out music, all these things.
Yeah.
But behind closed doors, I'm giving
Fight
myself,
demons.
I give it, it's a Thursday, I got the night off. Okay, well, I better make a song. I sit down on my computer and I'm like, I'm fucking cooked right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to fucking smoke a joint and have a beer because I need a goddamn night off. You know what I mean?
That's what you should take. And then when you feel that way, listen to yourself.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yep.
Because you can't force it. Forced music is the worst music in the world. Sometimes
You can feel it. You can hear it.
we have to force ourselves with DJing if we're booked for a gig.
Yeah.
Because you're paid to do a job.
Right.
And you got to get through it.
Yeah.
But creating music is totally different from DJing. You know what I mean? You
totally
can
different.
Start something and walk away from it and come back. And that's what's important. Big up to my brother. I always shout him out, Jazzy Jeff, is that what he does is that over the years of me being around him, he would go to the studio, and if he's feeling cutting live drums or something, he'll cut it and walk away. Then come back maybe later that day, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to add these chords.
Yeah.
And then leave and come back. And then go back to it the next day. Oh, let's do it. It was never forced. Whatever he was feeling at that moment, he got it out. It wasn't like I got to finish this, I got to do this, I got to add this. It was like, he's like, no, man, I don't. He said, I'll come in the studio and make something in my drawers and leave and go have lunch and come back and finish it up. And if I ain't feeling it, come back the next day.
Yeah.
And that's why, to me, his music that is about to come out sounds the best that it's ever had. And I'm not taking it. So I'll go in the studio right now. I'm like, yo, I got this idea.
Yeah.
I'll run and just do that idea and get it out.
Yeah.
Save it. Leave.
Yeah.
I don't have to. Who am I proving something to where I've been in the studio for 8 hours straight?
Fuck that.
I did that, man. Fuck that.
That's not fun at all.
So
I know, I hate that.
Step in there, you might hear one little synth sound.
Yeah.
And be like, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Leave it alone.
I've been trying to sort of give myself the chance to be inspired.
Yep.
In the sense where I'm not doing anything electronic music related.
Right.
It could be reading a book. It could be going to see stand-up comedy.
Yes.
It could be fucking having a goddamn conversation with my grandfather. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know when you're just walking, like I used to always listen to music everywhere I go.
Yeah.
Always listening to music. Always.
Yeah.
And because I love music, right? And I was trying to discover new music.
Yes.
Now I'm listening to the sounds of Chicago. I'm listening to myself.
Wow.
I'm listening to the cars that drive by.
Yes.
And I'm feeling this really, really unique, like not sense of clarity or inspiration, but it's like a new sort of side of my brain because I'm trying to shake up my routine a little bit.
Yes.
And it's kind of been working, Terry.
No, listen. If it works for you, fucking do it. Because let me tell you something. We are in a day and age, and especially when it comes to making music and like DJing, everything is laid out.
Yeah.
It's right here for us, right? Now you got this whole shit with AI. Man, AI is a tool.
It is.
Use it. I remember years ago when they put the fucking sync button on CDJ.
Oh my God, that's AI, isn't it?
Yo, it's AI.
The fuck it is AI.
Use it. Hey, it's how you
think about that shit. Yeah.
So that's my whole shit. Is just like, hey man,
use it.
All of this stuff, like I remember back in the day, bro, we were literally sampling for kick drums and snare drums and loops and percussion loops and chopping everything up. God. Now you don't have to do it. You go to Splice, you go to whatever sound pack that you like.
Yeah.
And it's there. So now the thing is, since it's the playing fields are level, is what you gonna do with it now that you got them sounds in front of you.
Yep.
So now that's my thing. It's like, hey, you got access to this kick drum, to this fucking synth, to this bass sound,
to this plug-in,
yo. But what you gonna do not to sound like everybody else? And unfortunately, that's one of the problems. Yeah, because everybody sounds alike, right. And that's when you see the guys that's doing it that you connect with, whatever genre of music it is somebody in there that you just like, ooh. What you doing? Woo.
Right.
And they're the special ones. And so at the end of the day, I am pushing myself to give you me, but be different from what you did. Because I can give you the same drum sounds, and I guarantee we can take those sounds, and because of what you do and where you at in your headspace, will totally sound different. And that's where we're at, and that's the beauty of it.
That's
you know what
true.
I mean?
So what about collaboration? Like you've done a lot of your own remixes and singles. You've also done a lot of collaborations.
Yes.
Is there a rhyme or reason to why you choose to collaborate, or how do those things come about?
Like for me, I've said it before, collaborations for me in this point is actually critical. And especially with dance music is more of a single-based genre. You know what I mean? True. And so in my headspace and where I'm at right now, I want to do more EPs and album projects to really
bodies of work.
Yeah, just because it seems like people are running away from that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I looked at my discography a few months ago and I was like, shit, it's just 1 million singles. Yeah. Like, it's me, but like, no.
Right, it's fire, but yeah, for sure.
I want to concentrate. So I'm doing this project right now with James Poyser. James Poyser is the musician he's produced from Erykah Badu to Mariah Carey he's on Jimmy Fallon. He's the keyboard player that's a part of The Roots.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So we're doing this thing together,
go.
man. Yeah, it's crazy because we always used to see each other and it was like, yo, we need to do something. And like James for me.
Wait, he's the guy who Jimmy always like makes fun of in the very beginning.
Yes,
oh my God,
absolutely.
that's so sick, Terry.
So man,
yeah.
his discography of music that he's worked on, D'Angelo, I can just.
God, do the Roots connect everything?
Oh no, yeah, like they big ups to Philadelphia and the Roots.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
We're doing this project called Julius Jordan.
Okay.
And when I say I'm super hyped about it, because again, we come from totally two different backgrounds, but the common goal is soul music. You know what I mean? And so he's like, yo, we got to do some house stuff together. And we finally did it because for me, I looked at him like, yo, bro, like you're a god.
Damn.
Like you're the musicians who they look at you to be like, like they're inspired from you, like the records that he's touched, man. And so we got to come up with a group name, and he's from Philadelphia, so we went old school. Dr. J. Julius Erving, the basketball player. He's Julius. Michael Jordan. I'm Jordan. Here you have Chicago and Philly coming together.
I'm like a huge basketball fan.
Julius
That's hitting
Jordan.
so hard.
That's it.
Julius Jordan.
Julius Jordan is the group. So
I was gonna say that sounds like a real one.
Yeah.
If that was a
man.
real guy.
Listen, it's two guys, but we're gonna make it a real guy.
Dude, you two together?
Yeah, man. So it's special. And we've dropped a few singles that's out.
Okay.
But we're gonna concentrate on putting out an album this year. I'm also doing something with my sister Tifa. She was in huge rap group back in the day with Shauna, and we're bringing the hip house stuff back.
Let's go.
So that's because we dropped a single called International last year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do an album.
Yeah.
And Shantae Savage, like I'm doing a whole project with her. So it's just that's what I'm into right now.
Yeah.
Speaking on collaborations, because to feed off one another is crazy. Like I get a different experience with James. Me and Jazzy Jeff is working. I get a different experience with him. Like this thing that me and DJ Immaculate is doing. Like we've done the drama records. We've done. We just finished something that's so crazy for Incognito that when we work together is different. So it's like the collaborations is it. So that means I need some Sherm drums or stems. So there's a Terry Hunter.
I like that
Sherm project.
Yeah,
and then that's gonna do what it's gonna do.
Well, because I feel like a lot of DJ producers, right? It's funny that's like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
DJ producer.
Exactly.
Can't be one or the other, I guess. And if it is one or the other, you're like disrespected and misunderstood.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, there's a big music ecosystem.
Yes.
Right? That includes singer-songwriters, that include DJ producers, that include ghost producers, that include executive producers. And it's about how can you really get in a room with the right people and create that right energy and inspiration and experience. I love collaborating.
No, listen. But let me tell you something.
It's the best.
It is the best, but boy, it can suck.
Yeah, that's true.
It can if you don't have a connection or a vibe, it's like the worst shit ever. I've walked in a room before, even with musicians, where I'm like,
fuck this.
This ain't it. And it's not arrogant on my part, but I've been down that road enough to know this ain't happening. So
it's energy.
The synergy's not there. Hey,
wow,
you don't go another direction.
You've done that.
I'm not forcing it. I don't have time to waste.
I'm too fucking
on
nice.
Something. But see, that was me.
Yeah,
I was always the nice guy. Nah, I can't do it. And again, it's everything in life. I say it all the time. I sound like a broken record. I say it to my kids. I say it to my business partners. I say it to my wife. I say it to everybody. My agent. It ain't what you say. It's how you say it.
Yeah.
So if you want to communicate something, you can say but you don't have to be, I'm not like, motherfucker, you whack, man. This session over with. Get out. Like, nah, bro, appreciate your time. Like, let's go, you know what I mean? Let's go another direction. I ain't ruthless like that.
Motherfucker, you whack. Yeah.
Get your ass out of here.
I know a few people I need to say that to, yeah.
Some of them deserve it, though.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean?
They need to hear it.
But yeah, collaboration, man, is it. I think it's so dope to bring, and especially when how people are locked in with a certain artist. Like, if I'm a Sherm fan, I'm a Sherm fan. Well, why is he in it? Like with this, well, why is he interviewing him?
Yeah.
Well, I really don't know him.
Yep.
Let me go see what this guy's about.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
If I can convert one person from this interview,
you will.
Job done.
Yep. That's how I
Big
feel
up
too.
to you for having this platform.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Job done, bro. So it's like,
True.
like, this is what it's about. Like I tell people sometimes all the time, like, listen, you're fishing, you're trying to fish in other lakes, and rivers, and whales.
You ain't got the right bait or the right lure.
Yo, stick with yours.
Yep.
And you bring new people over, they'll know if you're doing something good naturally. They'll come over.
Yep.
But like everybody, Jeff says it all the time, you're trying to get in a situation where you're trying to create and grab so many new fans. Just stick with yours. It's the TLC effect.
Absolutely.
Stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to, and those collaborations within those rivers and lakes, you're going to meet people, and it's just going to grow it.
I had that on Now One on my Walkman that
There
I
you
got.
go.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
There you go.
And I listened to that shit.
Don't
Like I
go
was at the
chasing
record store.
waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls, Terry.
Listen.
I won't.
I used to chase them all the time, and I was frustrated. Listen, what did we say at Nexus last year? If you ain't aligning with the right people and they ain't trying to show you or lead you in the right directions, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Period. So I'm not chasing nothing.
That's so fucking true,
You know what I
man.
mean? I ain't
Yeah,
chasing
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. And I think like going back on what you said about when you two kings of Chicago from different generations, you and John Summit, when we actually collaborate and don't, and this is why I get so upset at DJ culture sometimes, because everybody thinks they got to do it on their own. Guess what? When you bring somebody into your community and they bring you into their community, all you're doing is making the community bigger for everybody else.
Yes.
You win, I win. I win, you win.
Yes, bro.
Please open up the net.
Yes, bro. Listen, let me tell you something. I knew it,
Yeah.
but I'm doing it now. Like, we have our label, Mirrorball Records and Tease Box.
Yep.
And we
Shout
got
out
new,
Tease Box.
Yes, man. We have new distribution, man, and just talking to our guy over there. Again, something that was right in my face that I knew existed, but everything else in the world was going on. I do what I do, but you got to have sometimes people on your team to let you do what you do, but also make you aware of, hey, we need to do this, or I'm going to do this, but I need you to keep being you, so these things can happen.
Yeah.
And that's what's so dope about Bandcamp to me.
Okay.
It's about community.
Yes.
So it's like when he go in there, I remember he was like, yo, we need to get X, Y, and Z to accept this, because what happens is that we let each other into our communities and we put people on music and projects that never happened.
Yeah.
So Bandcamp is dope. Big up to them if we can shout them out for doing that. So it's so important the way these stars are aligning with what we're doing here.
It's amazing.
This is where this world is about collaboration, period.
Yep.
This is where we at. So if you're not doing it, you better start doing it, or you're going to wonder why nothing ever happened.
It's so true. And I'm really glad you brought up Bandcamp, because I feel like Bandcamp, SoundCloud, my cousin runs Feature FM, which is an independent music marketing platform for indie artists. Most artists are indie artists, right? And I feel like things are coming back around. Like SoundCloud, there was like a study done on it. It's the most actual, like, involved and passionate listeners. Just because you got 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify does not mean that you can even sell 2 tickets to a hometown show, right? These numbers are arbitrary, okay? That shit does not matter. Wookie, have you heard of Wookie? W-U-K-I? Good friend of mine, shout out Chris. He was in a bad place during the pandemic, and he leaned on Bandcamp, and now literally it's one of his biggest sources of income. I'm a huge fan, right? $5 a month. He gives me like 3 unique edits. They're so sick, right? And I feel like there is so many platforms out there.
Hey, Wookie, I need that. Come on, hook me up.
I got you, Terry. But I feel like that's what I want to always remind artists is that, again, you don't have to do this alone. You have these platforms to put your music out there. Don't be limited to what you think is going to make you successful. Like, releasing on a label is not going to take you on a world tour. It's not going to get a big DJ to support your music. You know what is? The community that you build that supports you. You got to build that foundation. Or else you're just going to be someone that has no real fan base, and you're going to fall real short, and you're going to be alone in that green room on that big stage.
Period, man. It's even with me, it's so important. Like,
I had to sit up for that, man.
No, listen. What I like to do too, sometimes I kind of like to turn it back, because when you have like just real conversation, you can get things out of it. As the energy is. So I want to ask you a question, even though I'm on your show.
I like it.
I want to put you on a spot to see, how do you feel in your community and people that you deal with? How do you feel? What's your take on Spotify?
Honestly, fuck Spotify.
That's why I asked you, because I knew I was gonna get that fucking answer. Absolutely.
I think that it's become a social media platform that is actually very, very hard to master or be successful on.
Thank you for
It's
saying
a pay-to-play platform, realistically, that has made up a lot of arbitrary numbers that does not compensate the artist's hard work in a fair way.
Come on.
And they know that, but they're not an artist platform. They're a user platform. And that's a problem that all artists have to deal with.
Absolutely. And that's the point. Like, I have a couple of people on my team, man, and you know, we look at certain things, and you know, I found us having a conversation. Oh, we need to release it because we can't get, you know, we wait 2-3 weeks and, you know, get playlisting on Spotify. Man, fuck Spotify. And at the end of the day, until they do right by the artist, that's my sentiment. Whatever, the music can live there, but I'm not paying a third party or paying these algorithms to try to boost some numbers on some money that you're never gonna fucking see.
No, and as someone who actually, I enjoy it as a user experience. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. The radio, the algorithm, all that stuff, like, that's cool. But from an artist perspective, they make it really fucking difficult to be successful.
And I look at it, and so and for people that are successful on Spotify, it's no diss. Big up to Drama, because they do well and it's paid off for them, right?
Well,
in that situation.
Commercial music, you know, we'll always do a little better.
Yeah, and my whole thing is that's the problem. Don't take the commercial stuff or the pop artist stuff and make it, give the community to everybody.
Right.
And so if you're not doing that, and especially if you're not paying the artists, fuck them.
Well, true. And like, I think also depending on the genre, like I just saw Kendrick Lamar was the first rapper to have 100 million monthly listeners.
Right. Jesus.
That's crazy, right? Like, sometimes I look at these.
I didn't know that. Wow.
First rapper to have 100 million monthly listeners on Spotify. Weeknd is not a rapper, technically. He's definitely been at that. But he's number
so he's the number one streamed artist, apparently, right?
Yeah.
Weeknd.
The Weeknd usually, I think, like, it will bubble with Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran, you know, just the major pop stars and stuff. But again, like, that's the part that I always try and remind these artists of. Like, I swear, anytime people are trying to get advice, these young artists, how do I get on a Spotify editorial? And I walk them through what it really requires, and that's having a Spotify popularity score that is based on how many monthly listeners you have and how many followers you have. And if you're not releasing music consistently and you want to only release on labels that are pushed out 6 months, you're doing yourself a disservice. So use Spotify for what it's worth, which is a platform to have your music heard.
Yep.
But don't think that getting on Mint is going to get you these shows.
Yes.
Because venues, talent buyers, promoters, they have never cared more about, can you sell tickets?
Thank you. And that's why I asked you that question, for the people that know me and follow me to hear it from someone else's perspective.
I'm telling you, that is the reality, and I love it. There's a game to be played with it. Again, it serves a purpose.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah.
I push my music on Spotify, blah, 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 blah. I don't even know what Apple Music is, to be honest.
No, for sure. Yeah. No, for sure.
Like, they're finally making it a little more artist-friendly, but I think, like, that's why, as long as it takes, no matter how long it takes, focus on the people that care about you for you.
Man.
An event, look at Terry. I believe, and tell me if I'm wrong, eventually it will just happen.
No, it will.
Because there's so many fakes that drop out because they're like, it didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Yes.
Well, why did you want to do this in the first place?
Absolutely. Bro, let me tell you something. I promise you, I have had so many career high moments, from DJing to remixes to productions to be in this position right now. I would have bet you everything I had that this wouldn't be happening. I would have bet you that this here would not have been happening.
I would have said that too.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, people look at this situation, look at my situation and know, and it's never gonna come when you want it to come. So it's the old saying. What's the saying? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. I've always stayed ready. You know what I mean? And so, which is funny, just looking at even the last 3 months, bro, just to show you. The last few years, I've done everything. I haven't had management. I have management now on 2 people that are like family that cares about the brand Terry Hunter. And just in these couple of months, we gone.
Amazing.
So it's just what is 2025 or 26 or 27 finna bring? Like I'm starting over again. Like
Yes.
listen, I'm going.
But you're
I'm
equipped.
hyped. Oh, I'm equipped. There's nothing that you can throw at me on my team that we're not ready to handle.
So true.
You know what I mean? And we always learning. Like, there's certain things like, for instance, that's why I love what you guys are doing so much. I said, you know what? Sometimes we block our own blessings. So I was sitting here and I was like, you know what? What I know is I make music.
Yeah.
I can DJ music, but I'm not an editor as far as film is concerned. I don't conceptualize how certain things should be in a social media type of thing. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I have people on my team that does it.
Yeah.
But I said, you know what? I need some help with this. Let me ask somebody that's totally outside of my very inner circle about something. And I hit Olivia up.
Did you?
It was like, yo, I think this is cool.
She knows a lot. Yeah.
Tell me what you think.
Let's go.
Yo, and she just sent me back a whole paragraph of notes. She left a voicemail, and it was like, whoa. But again,
I love that.
collaboration.
Yes. And collaboration isn't always being let's do something together. It's like, can you help me?
Can you? And listen, and again, that used to be me 10 years ago, right? Like, I ain't asking for nobody for no help.
Right.
I told you a story before about being a part of the Grammys. Like, I had big up to my brother Jay Ivy. He was like, man, you need to be involved. We need voices like you in the room. And I'm like, the Grammys, man, nah, man, whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, why am I keep saying that? Like, you could be a voice in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm that voice in the room. I went to the Grammys again this year. I was house music in that room.
Yes.
When it wasn't many of us there. And that's what has to stop. So I'm going to keep saying this because somebody's watching this might be like, yo, how can I help? It wasn't a lot of us that represented house music.
Yeah.
And especially from Chicago in that room. I'm in those rooms and I'm going to keep kicking down the door until we get further and further and further. And, you know, big up to Danny and Lady D and everybody that's involved and Tari Teray, like they're making a difference. And so once we get that, yo, we're going to be, they can't deny us, bro, if we're doing that. So that's my whole point to bring it back in is I'm not ashamed to call, hey, I may see something for you, hey, Matt, who did that? Or how did that happen? You like, oh, T, da-da-da-da. But if you sit back and thinking, I ain't asking them nothing. I'm Terry Hunter. I got my, that's when it's over.
Yep.
That's when it's over.
That's true.
So, you know, it's things like that is so important that we got to.
That's so inspiring,
keep
Terry.
Just communicating. On. Because there's things that you do that I don't do.
Right.
There's things that I do that you don't do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We
as
all
long
have
as we
our
understand
own.
that we good.
We all have our own tools, and that's something that over the past year I've thought a lot about. Is I used to have very specific goals.
Yes.
Playing Lollapalooza.
Yes.
You know, just like random things. These specific goals, right? And I realized that probably if I keep going, these things will happen.
Yes.
And then when I get to those goals, I'm actually going to be maybe a little bit let down because what's next? So the goal needs to be more meaningful.
Yes.
And what you just said about saying, you know what, I used to not be about the Grammys. I used to not be about this. You realize, this is safe to assume, you're actually doing house music history a disservice. So you said, I'm going to do
100%.
something that may not help me individually, but is going to help the mission of house music. And that is my mission. I'm trying to build something that's going to make a difference for people after I'm gone.
Absolutely. And that's so important.
And it doesn't help me directly with the first step, but everything comes back around.
But you know what's crazy in saying that is that whoever your inspiration was, they paved the way for you to be sitting here.
Yeah, exactly. That's so true.
They made that road a lot easier no matter how hard it was.
Yeah.
Somebody before you made that road a little smoother. So we got to
true.
pay it forward. And if we don't, you know, some people get lucky. Sometimes you look at other people and you're like, man, how did he get this?
Right.
How did he get this gig?
Because you think
How
you're
is he
better
making
for whatever
it?
reason.
Right. Listen.
It's not your journey.
It's not your journey. It's not your plight. It's not yours.
It's not your journey, bub.
And you have to learn. Everybody has to learn that because,
Yeah.
you know, we all go through it. I went through it.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've went through it.
Absolutely.
So it's one of those things.
It's a
It's
daily
not
struggle.
my journey, and all I can do now. My son is 18 next week.
Wow.
And he's DJing and producing.
Let's go.
crazy. And the sick part about it,
Yeah.
he's
Of course he is.
bro. But you know how you say, oh, that's my son.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
da-da-da-da-da. Look, this is finna be a bad analogy, right? Because I want to see him win. This is finna be, listen, Pete, excuse me. Yo, Bron, I love you. But LeBron James, and you know how they
I was just going to bring it up. Yeah,
they hard on, Bronny, and maybe he should be in the league, maybe he shouldn't.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, but guess what? He's supposed to do it because it's his son. Right?
Yeah.
And so I love that. But I have purposely taken a step back.
Yeah.
And I'm just in the house like, shit, he's a problem.
Yeah.
He's making beats now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whoa, he's a problem.
Yep.
Like, and I'm just not overly like, you should do this, da-da-da-da-da.
Let him do his thing.
And he knows I'm there.
Yeah.
So it's like, it happened a few years ago. I got, get stuff, endorsement deals. So I had a controller just sitting in the studio, rolling, controlling. He was like, what you doing with that? Like,
Sounds like you.
nothing. Yeah. I'm like, 2 days later, he's mixing.
Oh, my God.
Like, yo. So it's just one of those things that where, man, I'm super proud of that. And I just want to let him crash. And once he crashes, they can come back and say, well, Dad, or how do I do this? Instead of me telling him, you can't do it like this.
Right.
You can't do it like that.
Yeah.
You need to do it like this. No, do you.
Yep.
And then when you crash, that's my role as his father to say, go this way now.
That's right. Because the game is different for him than it is for you.
Totally different. And that was the whole thing he told me. So it's funny. Thank God. God, thank you. He didn't want to go to college.
Okay.
And so that the father was coming out of me like, nah, homie.
You going to
You're
college.
going. You're going. I don't care what you say. You're going. And so he was having these conversations with my wife like, well, Dad didn't go to college.
Uh-oh.
Dad did this. And I got to respect it.
Yeah.
But the thing of it was, what I think it clicked with him is the time when I was your age is a totally different time.
Yeah.
And you got to be extra special now to stand out because everybody's doing what you're trying to do.
It's tough, man.
It's super tough. So I'm like, no, you're going to have something to fall back on because if I don't let you, I'm going to kick myself in the ass to the day I die. So sorry. That's it. And so now he's like, oh, yeah. So he's got a full ride now, got accepted. He want to go to Northern. It's going to be in the music production.
That's great.
Thing over there. And so I'm just like, yes.
He came to you. That's right. That's good parenting right there because there's a fine line of like guiding.
That's it.
But not telling.
There you go. That's it.
I'm ready to be a father.
That's it. Come on, man. You got it.
Man, it's in the pipeline, brother. It's in the pipeline. It's
Absolutely,
in the pipeline.
Man. Just listen. Whenever you're ready, know Uncle Terry got you. Whatever it is.
Oh, my God. I would love for my kids,
bro,
to be homies with Uncle Terry.
Come on, man.
That's a given.
That's what we're here for.
That's a given.
That's what it's about.
I'll tell you what, my kids don't know how good they're going to have it.
Oh, no. Listen, you already got a strong situation around you.
Yeah.
And then when you see that, boy, girl, don't make a difference.
Doesn't.
It's good.
It's all good to me, man.
That's what it's about, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that keeps me level in the sense of, with music, your views change like we talked about earlier. Like, I'm not just doing this for me.
Right.
Especially now to see that he's going down the path that he's going. It's like, I'm doing this for you.
That's right.
I'm doing this for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
It makes it feel a lot different, better. It's like, it's a purpose. It's a reason why I ain't doing this shit just to be doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Whenever I leave this earth and hopefully he's still here, there's history.
Yes.
Like, this my pops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh, man.
So that's what it's
He'll
about.
carry that on, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One of the last questions I want to ask you, Terry, and honestly, you led me right to it.
Yeah.
So my dad, he passed away 2 years ago, and he was a great mentor for me.
Absolutely.
And I've never felt more connected to what his mission was, which was to build a life for his family, right? And I think a lot of people's definition of success, especially in music, I keep saying the word arbitrary, but like it's numbers, it's facts, it's figures, it's set times, it's festival slots, it's tours and stuff.
Yes.
Like what even maybe as a father is your definition of success in and outside of the music industry?
For them to look at me and to be proud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even my son is TJ, Terry Jr., man, just to see where he's at in his life with doing, he's into the fashion thing. You know, he had his own brand.
Wow.
He's developing that still, but just to see them come back to look at me, not looking at me like this old guy that's out of touch, that to see how I've inspired them from
That's
them
amazing.
watching me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a feeling that you can't, I don't even think it's a word for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just to know that I've inspired my boys to a point to where it's like, yo, this is, at the end of the day, this is what the fuck it's about.
Yep.
Right here and there. And
Yep.
they have something, again, they have a legacy that will be left behind for them to make them grow and then to leave to their kids when they decide to have them. So
that's what it's about.
It's all about that, man. And if you are fortunate enough to have it, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? It's super,
because they've
super
seen
dope.
you find happiness by being you.
100%. And they also saw the trials and tribulations, the not so good times,
For sure.
the struggles,
Yeah, man.
the highs, to have it come up and then it's like, oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And then it's not great. Then it's great.
Yeah.
Then it's not great.
Yep.
You know, but through all of that, what I love is that they never felt the struggle. Even though they might have saw things wasn't right,
Yeah.
but they never felt
That's
the
what my dad
struggle.
did for me.
You know what I
I
mean?
love that,
They
Terry.
never
Absolutely.
felt that. So
Yeah.
that's what's really dope. No matter how stressed out I was, y'all gonna be good.
Yep.
And that's the product that I have on them two boys right now, that they good. You know what I mean?
You know what? You kind of remind me of my dad a little bit,
That's
Terry, because
crazy.
I have a younger brother.
Yes.
My dad was from Bayside, Queens, right? Like,
Oh wow, from New York.
oh
Okay,
yeah, New
yeah.
Yorker. He literally like he made his own. His dad
what's
owned
up.
a men's clothing store.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and my dad became a very successful doctor.
Wow.
Did his own thing, like, and it's not that he didn't have a good life. His parents did the best that he could, but he always provided for us.
That's what's up.
And he was a very kind person. My mom is a fantastic person too, and I've always realized how I don't take it for granted how good of a childhood I had,
There you
the
go.
opportunities that I have, and what you just said. I mean, you just repeated like basically what I want my mission to be.
Absolutely, man. And that's the beautiful thing about this, again, collaboration.
Yep.
Because guess what? Hopefully people that's watching this will get some inspiration, some life lessons.
Yeah.
Not just about music, but just about people.
Well, that's what this podcast is starting to become.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, of course, I'm interviewing people in the music industry.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're all so real at this level. You know what I mean? Like,
And then let me say, no disrespect,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
I haven't seen all 246 episodes or 245, and I'm going to catch up. But let me tell you something. I know for a fact that there have been some dicks that you've interviewed that you like,
Absolutely.
why the fuck did I do this?
I don't do that
so
anymore.
That's the balance. You know what I mean?
it is the balance.
So,
I've had some bad episodes,
oh,
no
yeah.
doubt about
That's
that.
You got to have it.
Right,
to
and-
be where you at. You can't have just perfect shit.
No, I
You
can't have
gotta
perfect
it.
shit.
Yeah,
and what I
nah.
realized was I used to do so much research, and of course, like I do my research, obviously.
Yeah.
But dude, I used to have an iPad out here, 10 questions. Got to make sure I
Yeah.
get. That ain't me. I'm a genuinely interested person in, like, especially talking to people like you. Like, do I need to know every single song that you've ever released?
Come on.
You don't want to talk about that, probably, right? Like,
Been there, done that.
that's not what I want people to
Been
come on
there,
Sherman
done
the
that.
Booth for.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I love talking about back-to-back Grammy nominations.
Yeah, of course.
Two of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
Now I'm up for an Image Award.
Yeah.
All of that shit is dope.
Yeah.
Shameless plug still. But guess what? I've had more of a great time sitting here with you
Yep.
talking about real everyday life shit.
Exactly. Because if
Can't
it's meant
beat
to
it.
come up, it'll come up.
Can't beat it.
You know what I
there's
mean?
nothing wrong with that, but like you giving me the time to talk about my son,
Yeah.
most people don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah, I do.
And that's
I
what
love
makes
that.
you different.
I'm on a quest to find out what makes people you.
That's it.
And by getting that perspective of success and failure, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm sort of becoming a more well-rounded person. And
Absolutely.
that's what's important to me.
That's why
And recording these conversations.
you're gonna do this. And guess what? They're
Yeah.
gonna live forever.
That's right, Terry.
They're
exactly.
gonna live forever.
Exactly,
So that's
man.
the thing. It's
So like
dope.
and subscribe to Sherman the Booth YouTube.
Like and describe. Do you hear what he just said? Like and subscribe, people. Let's go. We some idiots. I love it.
Dude, this has been so much fun,
Fucking
Terry.
love it.
I mean, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, just want to say, really, mad fucking respect to you.
Thank you, bro.
Like, we're blocks away from the warehouse here.
Absolutely.
I'm sitting here with house music legend Terry Hunter,
Man,
and
thank
just
you.
saying that out loud, it really fills my heart, man. Because I know you know this, but I am so committed to making sure that my generation and generations to come know who really paved that road, like we talked
Absolutely.
about, right?
It's so important.
Even
man.
predecessors for you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
It's so important, man. It's so important. And I thank you for doing it because, again, you know, my thing is the inspiration and the stuff that I'm doing. The people that know me, they already know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's collab and let's let some people that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what make these things special. And so keep doing it, bro. Don't stop.
Thank
no
you,
matter
man.
how hard it get.
I'm
it's
just
so
getting started.
important, bro. Like, exactly.
You
like,
want to come back on for episode 1000?
Man, listen, you already know. Not 1,000. Where you at? 246? Nah, man, I want to come back before that.
How about 275?
Okay,
Yeah.
that was shit. That no 1,000.
I was saying there's going to be something between then. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's put me down for 1,000.
All
But
right,
we
I
got
got you. Yeah.
a bunch more in between that because there's gonna be more shit happening. You know what I mean? No, you ain't finna. You can't get rid of me like that. Bro.
No, absolutely not. You ain't going nowhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we're
That's what I'm
staying in
talking
this
about.
fucking city that we love
That's it.
that gives back to
That's
us.
it.
And that's
Absolutely.
that, man.
That's it. Much love, bro. I appreciate.
Thank
this.
you, Terry.
Thank you, man, for real.
Hey, what's up? And thanks for watching that video. You looking for more content now? I got your back. Go to my YouTube channel right now, hit that subscribe button, and make sure you turn on all notifications so you never miss any upcoming exclusive artist interviews, Sherman the Booth clips, new music, live sets, and more. This is your one-stop shop for everything electronic music. Cheers.